Skeletons of the Marital Closet by Tang. Chapter 1611. Actually, you don't have to accompany me. Shawn wouldn't be pleased. Aram said, It's a matter of courtesy. Aram suddenly smirked mockingly. Do we need that between us? Gale bit her lip. I didn't mean that. Gale, you're very fortunate now that you have Shawn by your side. He loves, respects, and cares for you, and is accepted by Joshua and Nicole. 4 years ago, when you jumped into the sea, you couldn't have imagined that one day you would have such a perfect life. Perhaps that's life. We never know what happens next. Aram stopped, facing her. Gale, are you happy now? Gale nodded. Do you love him? Gale nodded again without hesitation. Aram remained silent for a few seconds and then smiled. I knew it. I guessed it a long time ago. Your feelings for Shawn never disappeared. They've always been buried deep in your heart. No matter what I do, I can't replace him. Even though I've done so much for you, even though we've known each other since childhood. Aram, you're still a very important person in my life. It's just that if you insist on comparing yourself to Shawn, I can't. Shawn is her husband, her lover. She could only give her love to Shawn. Gale continued. Regardless of what happened before, what we've been through, I don't mind, and I don't hold it against you. Aram, I still hope that we can continue to get along like we used to. Aram asked, as friends? As a family, more important than friends. Gale looked at him with clear eyes. Aram shifted his gaze away, looking out of the window. He did not want to face Gale's sincere gaze. He would feel dirty because he clearly did not want to be a family member. He wanted to be her lover. This idea had been growing and taking root in Aram's heart for the past month. He could not suppress it. The more he suppressed, the more it occupied his entire mind. Did he just hand Gale over to Shawn? Why Shawn? Aram had been good to Gale the whole time, thinking and giving to her. He was the most qualified to provide Gale with happiness and a future. Family? Do you see me as a brother? Aram sneered. Yes. Sam is also like a brother to you. You've called him your brother for many years. So my position is the same as his? Was his fate the same as Sam's? Aram could not accept it. Sam hurt her, abandoned her, and went abroad when she needed him the most. But Aram, he had always been by Gale's side. You and him? Enough. Aram changed the subject, not wanting to delve further. Gale, since you've regarded me as a brother, why would you go to Shawn and say you love me? That gave Aram so much hope. He could not describe how excited and happy he was when he heard it. Chapter 1612. Aram honestly believed that his silent efforts and years of companionship had wielded results. He thought that Gale had a change of heart and that she had feelings for him. Therefore, he hastily canceled the engagement with Natalie, severing ties. He wanted a fresh start, unburdened, to embrace Gale. However, what transpired was realizing that it was all his own misguided imagination. Gale sighed. I lied. Back then, it was just to deceive Shawn for a divorce. In a moment of rashness, she wounded two people, Shawn and Aram. I'm sorry. I thought you ended things with Natalie because you found the real heiress of the Yarn family. I thought you claimed to like me just to use me as a cover. So I went along and said I liked you too, Gale added. Unexpectedly, she was the true Miss Yarn, and Aram's love was genuine. However, her proclamation of loving him was a lie. Aram slowly clenched his fist. Everything was fake. All of it. The only true thing is your love for Shawn. Though he knew the answer, he could not let go. He wanted to hear it from her, hoping the direct admission would strengthen his resolve to win her back. No, Aram, I don't want us to become strangers. It's true, Gale insisted. Do you think Shawn would accept me? He can. He's not who he used to be. Shawn has changed a lot now, Gale replied. Aram closed his eyes. Gale asked softly, Aram, do you resent me? Do you hate me? Do you want to sever all ties with me? A wave of powerlessness surged within her. That was not Gale wanted. She had been trying to maintain their relationship but could only honestly love Shawn. She was destined to disappoint Aram. Aram, can't we even be friends? Can't we go back to the way things were? Joshua and Nicole really like you, and you watched them grow up, Gale inquired. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to raise them. We faced so much hardship together just to part ways. Can't we part as friends? People say that men and women cannot be just friends. Gail always brushed off such remarks because she thought her friendship with Aram was pure, akin to sibling love. Aram would marry Natalie and she had only room for Shawn in her heart. However, everything changed. Gail lowered her head, gazing at her own toes, waiting for Aram's response. If he did not want to be her friend and only insisted on being her lover, she had to bid him farewell. Aram could only come this far with her in her life. No one except for a lover could stay with someone until the end. Yet, Gail would silently monitor Aram's well-being and assist whenever possible. If Aram were willing to maintain their friendship, she would be overjoyed. Aram's answer was glaringly obvious. Chapter 1613. They were silent for a few minutes. Finally, Aram spoke slowly. Gale. Yes? Gale replied, nervously clutching the edge of her clothes. She was eager to hear Aram's answer. Aram raised his hand, placing it gently on her shoulder. I wish you a lifetime of happiness. Aram. The disappointment in Gale's eyes deepened. It seemed he chose to end things there. She had no choice but to respect his decision and accept reality. As for me, I'll return to my original life. I'll quietly watch over you. I'll always be there. Aram continued. Gale froze. She stared at Aram. She could not understand what did returning to his original life mean. Did that mean they could still interact like they used to? Aram, do you mean just like before? Do you understand? Aram said. Gale continued to stare at him, dumbfounded. Aram added, the difference is that we now have an additional bond between us. Gale, you're the true daughter of the Yarn family, my childhood playmate. Our connection goes beyond these recent years of acquaintance. So, how could I bear to see you in a difficult situation, Gale? Aram looked at her. Your happiness brings joy to my heart. Your well-being makes me genuinely happy. For so many years, I've grown accustomed to being your safety net, covering for you, taking care of everything for you, rather than standing by your side. The position by your side never belonged to me. Aram's hand tightened slightly on her shoulder. Gale, I just hope that in the future, whenever you need help, you can come to me for assistance, just like before. Although it's wishful thinking, Is there anything Shawn can't handle? After Aram finished speaking, Gale finally came to her senses. He was not going to leave. Their story had not ended. Aram's intention was to continue their relationship as friends and family. It was so surprising to her. Gil had mentally prepared for a farewell, but the situation turned around. All right, I understand, Gale said, not saying much, just nodding repeatedly. Aram smiled, patted her head, and withdrew his hand. Gale also smiled. You scared me. I thought you really wanted to leave. What will I do in the future when Joshua and Nicole miss you and want to see you? She said. Even if I really bid you farewell, it's our affair. It doesn't involve the kids. They can come over any time. Do you think I would do anything to them? They are the children I watched grow up. Aram replied. Gail patted her chest, breathing a sigh of relief. Being able to remain friends with Aram made her truly content. Fortunately, things did not take a turn for the worse. Aram, I was safe for those 4 years in the small town, thanks to your care for Joshua and Nicole. I've always wanted to say it, but never had the chance. Today, I want them to acknowledge you as their godfather. What do you think? Gale earnestly proposed. Chapter 1614. Godfather? Yeah, you've long been family to them for as long as they can remember, especially Joshua. During his time with the Leftings, he was completely enchanted by Aram's charm, thinking Aram was flawless in every aspect. That was why the idea of matchmaking her with Aram crossed his mind. Aram was indeed a very good man. Even after the incident with Natalie, Gil still felt that Aram was the perfect man. He was still gentle, always considerate of others, and a gentleman in every sense. No, it's okay. Being called uncle by Joshua and Nicole is enough for me, Aram said. Gil did not insist. Sure, it's just a title. What you've done for them far exceeds what an uncle should do. I did it willingly. Yeah, I get it. I think you understand my intentions too. Aram nodded. I do. Truth be told, Gale had her own ideas, but Aram had his own. He absolutely resisted the idea of being called their godfather. What Aram wanted was not the role of a godfather if he had to be one. He would rather be a stepfather. If he agreed to be their godfather now and later succeeded in winning Gale back, how would Joshua and Nicole address him? He thought he might as well stick to being Uncle Lefting now and have them adjust later if necessary. Stepfather was infinitely better than godfather. Arm had thought it through and rejected Gale's proposal. Gale did not think much of it. Arm pressed the elevator button and suddenly remembered something. When I arrived, I saw a lot of reporters outside the hospital. Reporters? Yes. Security guards were trying to get them to leave, but they refused, waiting for some big news. Gale was clueless. Maybe some celebrity is filming at this hospital today, Arm said. Only reporters, no fans. I'll ask Shawn, he should know. If there are so many reporters, I had better take Joshua and Nicole out through the back door. Nicole had already been photographed by paparazzi once, and Gail did not want her son to be in the limelight. She preferred a life out of the public eye and did not want to become the talk of the town. Aram nodded without saying more. I'll go now. Okay, bye. Gail happily waved to him, smiling sweetly. Aram smiled too. Gail, one day you will come to me, he thought. If he did not choose to coexist peacefully with Gale now, how would he begin his plan? To win Gale back, Aram had to compete with Shawn. He had to do it in secret. Gale skipped back to the ward. Shawn leaned against the frame at the door, watching her, raising an eyebrow slightly. "You're back?" "Yeah," Gale replied. She was all smiles. "So cheerful. Looks like you had a very pleasant chat with Aram." He wanted to intervene or monitor their every move. In the end, Shawn chose to wait for her to come back. Chapter 1615. He trusted her. Although a tinge of jealousy in his heart kept surging, a man could hardly stay indifferent when his wife was alone with a man who liked her. What more when the man was Shawn, the king of jealousy? Joshua appeared out of nowhere, standing between the two. "Shawn, did Uncle Lefting leave because of you?" Shawn was speechless. "Mom, you're smiling even brighter now. Did something good happen?" It was Gale's turn to be speechless. Shawn picked up Joshua up. "Go stand aside." Little did he know, Joshua held onto the doorframe. "I won't go. I won't go. Uncle Lefton came to see me, and he left after putting down the flowers. Something's not right. Does this mean I won't see him again?" "He's really a good man, Shawn. You can't bully him. Uncle Lifting is already a sad single man. You have a wife, Nicole and me. You're the winner in life. You should be gracious and forgiving. Turn the other cheek and be a true gentleman." What a sneaky kid. For such a young age, he had quite an extensive vocabulary. "Even Joshua sees it. Don't worry, Uncle Lefting and I are still friends," Gale said while rescuing Joshua from Shawn. "Really?" "Really?" Joshua asked. "Did he become your spare tire?" "Joshua Warm!" Gale initially wanted to be patient, but at this moment she could not help it. Seeing he had said something wrong, Joshua immediately broke free and ran to Lucas's side in the blink of an eye. He was scared. His mommy looked angry. Shawn squinted slightly. "What did you and Aram talk about?" "We talked a lot. He and I reconciled." "Reconciled?" "Yes, we decided to be forever friends. We will help each other just like how he helped me when we first met. Selflessly, without any selfish or ulterior motives." Gale and Aram were old friends, reunited after more than 20 years. Shawn was somewhat surprised. Aram was willing to be just friends. He did not try to push further. Or maybe Aram chose to withdraw to start his own new life. Strange. Was that what Aram would do? Did Aram say this himself? You both agreed on this. Shawn still could not believe it. "Yeah, absolutely. I feel relieved with this conclusion." Gale happily stretched her arms upward. "I've been worried about how to face Aram and get along with him. I was afraid of losing him and breaking contact like this. Now it's good. I can relax." Shawn looked at her. Though he felt something was off with Aram, he did not want to dampen her spirits. Well, Aram loved her. What's more, they had a childhood history. It should not lead to anything harmful. Of course, Shawn would not let anyone hurt her again. "Well, that's good. Hopefully, it can stay like this," Shawn replied. "Of course it will. I trust Aram completely. It's more of you that I need to be worried about. Did you get jealous?" Chapter 1616. Shawn smiled slightly. "How dare I? I can only stand here hopelessly, hoping you'll come back soon." Gale grabbed his arm, gently swaying it. "I knew it. Mr. Wood is becoming more and more understanding. Understanding? Was it really the appropriate way to describe him? Gale quickly said, You don't like it? Then how about being gracious then? Isn't that what Joshua said just now? Gale laughed. Anyway, it means the same thing. You get it. In any case, you're no longer petty, suspicious, paranoid, weird, or domineering. Sean's gaze darkened. Gale, you use these derogatory terms on me so easily. However, you can't come up with any praises and have to rely on Joshua for help. No, absolutely not. Gale put on an innocent look and blinked her eyes. Even if she did, she could not admit it. Gale shook his arm again. I'm just too tired. My brain isn't working. Come on, let's pack up and go home. They would really return home. The four of them would be reunited, home together at last. Gale suddenly remembered something. Oh, by the way, Aram said there were reporters surrounding the hospital entrance. I don't know what's going on. Reporters? Yes, don't you know about this? Shawn shook his head. Nope. To be safe, let's use the back door. Suddenly Lucas shouted. Shawn! Shawn, about to call the head of the security team, paused. Grandpa, what's up? I deliberately gathered the reporters at the hospital entrance. Joshua's return to the Wood family is a big deal. We should announce it to the town, Lucas said. This is also so that those gossip mongers won't question his identity. What do you think? This is good news anyway. When the media publicizes it, people in C-City will know who they are. In the future, they'll know Joshua and Nicole belong to us. The kids should attend more socials later. It turned out that reporters were Lucas's doing. Grandpa, why didn't you tell me about this in advance? Shawn said. I'm telling you now, aren't I? That hardly counted as an advance notice. Shawn pressed his forehead. Did you ask for Joshua's opinion? He agreed. Joshua immediately said, Yes, I agree with great-grandpa. The truth was that Nicole had gone viral in the media. She was known throughout the city and heralded as a precious young heiress. So, how could Joshua lose out? He wanted to keep up appearances and keep the buzz going. He, as the Wood family's young master, also held a prestigious status. Chapter 1617. Moreover, Joshua was a piano prodigy. He had already made several public appearances, gaining considerable fame across the internet. If people knew he was the rich young heir of the Wood family, it would be bound to create a sensation online. It's good to make it public. We can't keep the two children hidden forever, Mary chimed in. Peter nodded. Yes, Joshua also needs a sense of identity. After all, he had hid from the public for so long. That's right. It's settled then, Lucas said. As a boy and the future heir of the Wood family, Joshua would eventually need to appear in public and assimilate into the various upper-class circles in C-City. After all, he was going to take over the Wood group. However, it was different for Nicole. As a girl of a wealthy family, she could live carefreely. It didn't matter whether or not she managed the company. If she was career-oriented, she could join Joshua in taking over the company. If she was not interested in that, she could pursue any profession she liked without worrying about the Wood family heiress status. Therefore, Joshua could be in the limelight, but Nicole could stay out of it and remain protected. At the hospital entrance, reporters craned their necks, eagerly anticipating Joshua's appearance. Cameras were already focused on the exit. ready to capture every moment. Some reporters even started live broadcasts. We are currently at the entrance of City Hospital. The Wood family young master will appear shortly. It was an official announcement by the Wood family's PR team. Many journalists have gathered at the scene. As City's wealthiest family, the Wood family used to maintain a tight lip on personal affairs. However, their personal life has frequently been in the news in recent years. Last time, the appearance of the Wood family heiress attracted the attention of over 100 million netizens. Today, will the Wood family young master create another wave of excitement? The live stream's viewership climbed to 100,000. Lucas appeared with a cane, and photographers swarmed, capturing every moment with a constant click of camera shutters. Lucas smiled. Everyone, take it easy. Don't push around. Pay attention to safety. My great grandson is coming. Here are small gifts for everyone. A little token of appreciation. Hope you all like it. Lucas's team handed out gifts, and they did not look cheap either. The Wood family was undoubtedly generous. They also distributed candies. Lucas was in high spirits, enjoying the atmosphere. Soon after, Shawn and Gale made their entrance. Gale wore sunglasses, walking with her head down, while Shawn held her hand and carried Joshua. Compared to Gale, who deliberately avoided the cameras, Joshua not only faced them directly, but waved and greeted them. Hello, everyone! His voice was crisp and loud. Shawn pursed his lips, expressionless, holding Joshua. With the escort of bodyguards, they made their way through the crowd to the car. Joshua looked left and right, posing for the cameras in various ways. He seemed to enjoy the attention. Shawn could not bear it anymore, raising his hand to press Joshua's head against his shoulder. Enough. There are enough photos. You've made your appearance. I don't know if they got my best angle. Best to take a few more. He was speechless. People were enthusiastically commenting on online forums. They asked, why are rich people's kids so good looking? They're always fair skinned, confident, and poised. Some said, if I were born inheriting $1 billion fortune like him, I'd be even more confident. Chapter 1618. One said, first, there was Nicole, and now there's Joshua. These kids have such great fortune to be born into this family. Another said, did no one notice Mr. Wood and Mrs. Wood? They were holding hands throughout. Such a loving couple. Wait a minute. This kid seems familiar. Shawn and Gale, with Joshua in his arms, had only walked a short distance to their car. They boarded the car and left in less than 5 minutes. However, in these 5 minutes, the resourceful online community had already dug up Joshua's illustrious history. Isn't this the piano prodigy child? Yes, he played the world's most difficult piano piece at such a young age and won the championship. Good genes, intelligence, and being born into wealth. Impressive. A CEO father and a beautiful mother resulted in the birth of a pair of children. They won in life. Online discussions skyrocketed. Lucas had achieved his goal. The car slowly drove away and eventually disappeared into the traffic. Reporters dispersed slowly, armed with photos, ready to return to their offices to write new articles. This would undoubtedly generate a lot of buzz. No one noticed Arum quietly standing in the corner. He did not hide or conceal his position. He just stood there, but remained unnoticed. Arum watched Shawn and Gale hand in hand. Gale looked so small beside Shawn. He also watched Joshua making funny faces at the camera. Aram observed it all and kept it in his heart. Such a harmonious family. How beautiful and happy. Aram was alone and lonely. He sneered twice, turned, and walked away. No, this was just the beginning. Let's see who gets the last laugh. In Temperley Hall, the kitchen buzzed with activity. They had even hired extra help to prepare for that night's family banquet. The housekeeper directed the servants around to ensure the house was spotless, especially Joshua's room on the second floor, which the housekeeper personally supervised during decoration. The floors gleamed after a thorough cleaning. When Nicole returned home, there was such grand arrangement. It happened too suddenly, catching everyone off guard. However, Joshua's return was a well-prepared affair. Also, Gale felt indebted to Joshua for being unable to come home. She instructed the housekeeper to make the welcome home party more splendid, giving Joshua a sense of importance. She knew her son liked the attention. The car came to a halt. Joshua hopped out, surveyed the vast house, stroked his chin, and said after a while, "It's okay. I give it a pass." Gale was stunned. This was the most luxurious villa in Sea City, comparable to a castle. How could he call it passable? "It's not my first time here. There's nothing new. I'm more excited about the villa great-grandpa is giving me," Joshua added. He walked quickly ahead with hands behind his back like a little adult. Nicole ran out happily. "Joshua!" Seeing his adorable sister, Joshua revealed his childlike side. "Nicole, I'm back." Chapter 1619. "I've been waiting for you. Come, I'll show you to your room. It's huge." Hand in hand, the two of them ran swiftly toward the second floor. "Slow down, don't fall," Gale reminded from behind. "Ma'am, rest assured, Temperley Hall is carpeted from top to bottom, and all the sharp corners are child-proofed. They won't get hurt," the housekeeper remarked, grinning ear to ear. Temperley Hall had not been this lively for a long, long time. It will continue in the long future without any more lonely moments. Gil said, "Thank you for your hard work." "It's all Mr. Wood's idea. Not only Temperley Hall, but their school has also gotten a makeover to ensure the kids' safety, all funded by Wood Group," the housekeeper replied. Gale looked at Shawn. She remembered him mentioning something like this. Did he really act on it so quickly? Was it not too pampering? Were they treating the children as if they were too fragile? When Joshua and Nicole lived in the small town, they did not receive such special treatment, yet they grew up healthy and well. Before Shawn could answer, Mary interjected, "This is good. It's essential to consider the children. Nowadays, there's so much formaldehyde, which can harm their development. It's time to change. Mr. Wood is truly thoughtful." Shawn agreed. "Mom is right." Gil wondered if she was the only one thinking this was too much. Shawn held her hand and said, "Let's go in. Lunch should be ready." "Yes, lunch is almost ready. Mr. and Mrs. Wood, Mrs. Mary, Mr. Peter, and Mr. Lucas, please come in," the housekeeper said. In the dining room, a sumptuous feast awaited. A tantalizing aroma filled the air. It took 3 days to prepare this, with fresh ingredients flown in and a renowned chef specially hired for the occasion. Gil went upstairs to call Joshua and Nicole for lunch. Pushing open the door, she saw the interior and was stunned. "Is this Joshua's room?" Gil exited and closed the door. She looked around, then pushed it open again. With another glance, she was still shocked by the scene before her. What was with this room? Was this the interior of a spaceship? Gale could not believe her eyes. Nicole's room was a princess room, painted with pink walls, adorned with limited edition dolls, and hung with princess dresses, whereas Joshua's room was extraordinarily cool. Every corner of the room had high-tech elements. Walking in, Gale felt like she entered the interior of a spaceship in outer space. She felt like she might float away. Joshua was fascinated by all things related to space. His dream was to become an astronaut. Unexpectedly, Shawn fulfilled his wish in some way. Joshua stood in the middle. Yeah, welcome to my crib. I've never seen anything like it. Shawn put so much effort into this. Joshua's expression changed a bit. He sheepishly said, "This time he did quite well. I should praise him." Yes, yes, I will thank you on his behalf. Pleasing you is so hard. Chapter 1620. Joshua crossed his arms and snorted. Well, if he doesn't please me, I will not call him Dad. Nicole blinked her big eyes, asking in confusion, Why would it? Joshua, don't you like Dad? It's not that I like or dislike him. Nicole was confused. Do you like him or not? Joshua remained elusive. I like him a little bit, but not much. Nicole was utterly confused and looked at Gale. He is just being stubborn. He likes him a lot but pretends to be indifferent. Gale picked Nicole up and said, Let's go. We're going downstairs for lunch. Everyone's waiting for you too. How am I being stubborn? I really like this room. Let's see how he performs. Gale looked at him and said, Your father is quite impressive. He can get almost anything you want for you. This room is just a small gesture. If you like it, he can take you to a real spaceship. Do you believe that? Joshua's eyes sparkled. A real spaceship? The temptation was too great. Is it true? He can take me for a tour? Joshua asked tentatively. Of course, as long as he wants. Joshua ran out quickly, disappearing like a gust of wind. Joshua is so weird. Mommy, did he break his brain? Nicole said. Don't try to understand, man. When Gale returned to the dining room holding Nicole, Joshua was already seated. Moreover, he was sitting next to Shawn. Joshua, afraid others might take his seat, quickly said, I'm sitting here next to Shawn. None of you should try to snatch it from me. Shawn looked at him in surprise, then glanced at the sky outside. Was the sun rising from the west today? The servant brought the soup to the table, the aroma filling the air. Come, Shawn, you have worked hard, taking care of me in the hospital this past month. Have some soup. Joshua stood up, standing on the chair. He took the initiative to ladle soup for Shawn and even blew on it. When he put it down, he fussed. It's a bit hot. Drink it later. Shawn stared at the soup. If he had not seen the servant bring it and witnessed Joshua's ladling it, he would have suspected there was poison in it. It might be because Joshua wanted to poison him, so he was being so attentive. Not only that, but Joshua also handed him utensils. Shawn was restless. Can't you be more normal? Joshua looked innocent. I'm very normal. After saying that, he blew on the soup again, touched it with his hand, checked the temperature, and said, You can drink it now. Try it quickly. Don't go hungry, Shawn. You work hard, and it must be tough. Shawn dared not drink. He leaned halfway out and asked Gale, "What's wrong with Joshua? Is he possessed?" "Yes, he started acting like this after going to his room," Gale answered seriously. Shawn furrowed his brows slightly. He specifically asked Gale what Joshua liked. Then, according to Joshua's preferences, he hired a top interior designer. It was not cheap, amounting to several million. For Shawn, it was just a small amount of money. As long as his son liked it, it was worth it. Could it be that Joshua was too happy and excited, so he suddenly became so attentive? However, Joshua's reaction exceeded his expectations. He sat back in his seat and found Joshua looking at him with bright and hopeful eyes.